to the Pit of Doom. No videos for a bloody long time for me. I've had no ideas whatsoever to do for videos, so I've just been dormant for a long time. But now we're into a new year, and the Metal Tag is back with us. I've been watching a few of those that have already been done, and I decided I'll add mine. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the questions set by Marty and Alan and the rest of Heavy Metallurgy this year. 20 questions as per usual. Number 1, Giddy Up. 2026 is the year of the Firehorse. Show an album with a horse on the cover. A horse-like creature such as Pegasus are permitted, but you lose some street cred if you show a unicorn. And that's probably really easy for me to show a unicorn, being into power metal like I am. But the first one that sprang to mind is the Australian band Pegasus. This is their second album, Wings of Destiny, from 1998. Still a band that I don't own everything by. I think I bought this in '98 purely because I was new into the scene, new into power metal, and it was a way of starting a collection of bands of a similar sound. I was listening to Hammerfall and Rhapsody and Stratovarius and all those kind of bands in '98. Having never listened to power metal before, the closest I ever come to power metal before was probably Halloween, back in the Keeper of Seven Keys days, but then swiftly went into other more heavier forms of music at the time. So that's number 1. Number 2, Nostalgia. Show an album that you do not think is very good, but you can't bring yourself to get rid of. So I thought that Paradise Lost had a really good career right up until this album. I was always into the band right from the very start. Just their pioneering form of gothic doom, along with Anathema and My Dying Bride, they were just really good. So I got up to this album, which is the 7th album in all, and it was so shit that I gave up the ghost with the band from then on after, up until their 2015 album, The Plague Within. So everybody knows now the album that I'm going to show is Host. I've got nothing good to say about this album. Never liked it. It will stay in the collection just because. But in fact, I didn't even own it after hearing a little bit of it pre-buying it. I thought, well, I'm definitely not buying that. That's just rubbish. That's not Paradise Lost. And I guess, like many of the bands of the era, I've had their moments in time where they just lose the plot, and I think Paradise Lost lost the plot, and they decided that they wanted a bit of the success of a mainstream band, and turned themselves into Depeche Mode. I know their influences, included Depeche Mode and all of that kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't want Paradise Lost to sound like Depeche Mode, not in the slightest. So that's number 2. Number 3 is Goat. Show your favourite new album released in 2025. I didn't buy much in 2025. It was a very poor year for me. A load of expenses and debts, so nothing much was bought. But out of the 5 or 6 albums that I did buy, this one stood head and shoulders above the rest. And it's a German band, German doom band, called Angel of Damnation. I've got their previous 2 albums. They've only released 3. So this one just stood out. I love doom metal anyway, and it's just a top album. Ethereal Blasphemy. I say it's their third album, and yeah, the singer Jarrett Mutz, he's in another band called Dawn of Winter, and he's also sung in another in a power metal band as well, which slips my mind at the moment. So yeah, that's number 3 favourite album released in 2025. Number 4, From Beyond. Show a favourite album that is not a heavy metal album. That's really easy for me. I don't 100% listen to heavy metal all of the time. I do like everything in the rock realm. Not much pop or anything like that, but this band I've been listening to since I was a child, ever since 1979, when they released a single which was a number 1 in 1979 and also a number 1 in 1980. Probably the only band in history to do that. That band in question, Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd, The Wall. Like everything that Pink Floyd have done, the really early stuff right up until the very last album. So yeah, always been a Pink Floyd fan. So that's number 4. Number 5, The Unknown. Show an album that you can't remember ever hearing someone talk about on YouTube. So what I've got for that category, I mean, I'm sure somebody's probably spoken of them through the years, but I've never seen anything. They're an American band, an American doom band. They originally existed in incarnation before the revival band, and that band was Winter. Never ever owned this on vinyl or cassette, and this is a nice reissue. Came out a few years back, which just basically contains everything that I ever did, like a couple of demos and the album. And they morphed into, many years later, this band called Godin. So it's just basically continued where Winter left off. They've only got 2 albums out. The artworks are a bit naff, but perfect for the vibe of the album. Just dark, doomy, dismal, despair, all good stuff. What are we on now? 6. 6, Front Loaded. Show an album whose first song is its best song. I don't know. Took me a while to think about this one. An album where the first song is the best song. So I thought back to this band. I don't have everything they've ever done, but everything I do have I like, and particularly like the first sort of five albums are the best. I originally saw them as the support on the Clash of the Titans in 1990, and that's Suicidal Tendencies, Lights, Camera, Revolution. So I think the first track, You Can't Bring Me Down, that was in heavy rotation on MTV's Headbangers Ball at the time, and I've always felt it's the best song on that album. 7 is Encore. Show an album that you think would be better if it were longer. This one was really difficult. An album that I think would be better if it was longer. So I floundered a little bit with this one, and the only thing I could come up with off the top of my head when I was looking through my collection was this band. Eisentor. They don't really exist anymore, but they're basically the British band Solstice, and these songs were meant for the third album, I do believe, by Solstice, and there's only basically 2 tracks on this. So it's not an album, but seemed to sort of fit my thought process at the time. If only, you know, they'd wrote more songs and released more songs as Eisentor, but then I guess, you know, the main priority is writing songs for Solstice, and that's obviously what happened. So yeah, Eisentor. Number 8 is Fail. Show an album you bought that disappointed you. An album that I bought that disappointed me. I bought a load of albums that disappointed me, but none more so when you love a classic band and you expect everything that they do to be just great all of the time. After all, you tend to buy classic bands albums. Well, if anything like me, you don't even need to hear them. You're just sold on the fact that they're just a classic band that you love. So when this band came out with this album in 2008, after 2 kind of really naff albums with another singer, you know where I'm going with this. I immediately bought it because the old singer was back. But yeah, it was a hell of a disappointment. And that album is Nostradamus by Judas Priest. Came out in 2008. I mean, after a great comeback with Rob, what was it, Angel of Retribution, in 2005, they then decided to do a concept album, and it wasn't good. I mean, this is a 2-disc. It's just too bloated. It's not Judas Priest. They're just biting off more than they can chew with this one. It's just unnecessary. I mean, I can listen to it. I can get through the entire album. I like it for what it is, but it's not really Judas Priest. So yeah, it's got more of a power metal concept, I guess. And the thing is, there's been several power metal bands through the years that have done songs about Nostradamus, or concept albums about Nostradamus. I mean, there's even a power metal band called Nostradamus. So I just think it was just completely unnecessary, really. So that's number 8. 8. Number 9. The Return. Show an album you played in 2025 that you had not played in over a year. So I hadn't been playing this band for quite a while, because I'd stopped buying anything by them around about just after this point, actually. So I'm talking 2006. So then I started listening to the band again and decided that I wanted to grab the albums that I didn't have. So this one I bought in 2006, after I'd seen them live. I might have seen him live in 2005, actually, but yeah, so they released this in 2006. Tankard, The Beauty and the Beer. The Beauty and the Beer. That's a good album, and they're a great band. They're one of my all-time favourite bands. I claim to proudly still own my 1987 copy, which is up on the wall there, framed piece of vinyl, because I sold all my vinyl many years ago, of Chemical Invasion. It's my favourite thrash band of all time, thrash album of all time. I've no real idea as to why, but it's possibly because it's the first piece of thrash vinyl that I'd ever bought. So yeah, that's on the wall framed. But yeah, revisited this just to remind myself of the later era of the band and the last few albums that I still need to buy, because I haven't bought anything since that. Well, I have now, but I hadn't bought anything since that at the time. So that's number 9, The Return. Number 10, Joker, show an album with hilarious cover art. Hilarious cover art, there's quite a few. Could be here all day. But one that sprung to my mind instantly is a band that I only own this particular album, and I think I bought it because I was really into power metal at this point in time. So between 98 and 2000 I was power metal mad, absolutely mad for it. So I was just buying anything, and I suppose the more the more silly the album cover looked, the more interest I had in wanting to own it. So it's a German band, and they've got they're still going, and they've got 7 albums out, and this one is their 2000 album, and even the name and the title are just hilarious before you even see the picture. So the band's called Custard. I mean, look at that. It's just, what an aberration that is. And the album's called For My King. Yeah, For My King. So Custard, For My King. It's just so bad. I mean, even the depth perception of the art with the warriors, it's just it's just laughable. It's so funny. Yeah, so that's number 10. 11, Yearning. Name a potential album release. Name a potential album release you're anxiously awaiting in 2026. Easy, really easy. I saw this band last year for only, I believe, the 3rd time in their history, and they're an old school thrash band that were inactive for many years, and then when they came back in 2010, they had a great album. That album in question was Omega Wave by the band Forbidden, Bay Area thrash. Awesome stuff. I saw them for that tour, and yeah, they haven't released anything since 2010. But last year they put out 2 singles, 2 digital singles, which was a taster of things to come. So yeah, I imagine that album's out imminently this year. So that's number 11. Number 12, Collector's Scum. In your collection, is there a pesky gap in a band's discography that you are hoping to fill? I've got loads of gaps. There's gaps absolutely everywhere. I mean, I was never always a completist. I literally bought what I liked. But I became a completist somewhere along the line. So, yeah. That's number 12. And I need to complete everything by Blaze Bayley. So I think what went wrong with this artist is I got the first 3 albums when he just went under the name Blaze, and then I think I'm missing the sixth album, the King of Metal. So yeah, it's the only one I'm missing. But oh, and the brand new album as well. So yeah, so that's number 12. Number 13, Evolution. Talk about a band or album that you think is successfully moving its respective genre forward creatively. Well, I think this band, they're a British band, and they haven't been around that long in the grand scheme of things. They've only got 3 albums out, but what they do, I've seen them live a couple of times. I saw them live a couple of times before I even bought this album, and it's the only album I do have. I don't have the first or the third album. I've only got the second album. But they tend to mix genres together to come up with something which is quite pleasing to my ears, at least. and it's kind of like doomy, sort of thrashy, a little bit deathly, a little bit groove. Yeah, anyway, the band is Damnation's Hammer. So I don't have a lot of info about them, but they're great live, and I say this is the second album. Unseen Planets and Deadly Spheres, and it's just brilliant. It's just a great mix of everything, and I think if they continue, I don't know I haven't got the third album. I have heard it somewhere along the line, but I don't own it yet. But yeah, they just mix it up really well, and I think it just pushes heavy music, which is melodic, and got a mix of like death, groove, thrash. Just blends it all together really well in a dark aesthetic. So yeah, it's number 13. Number 14, Told You So. Show an album or albums that someone recommended to you that impressed you enough to purchase it. Well, I think I saw this at some point online somewhere, and they're a Norwegian funeral doom band, and this came out November last year. So I jumped on this straight away after I clicked on it to hear it streaming, and it's it's a reissue, and it includes their Astral Exaltation EP as bonus tracks, and that band is called Gloombound. Absolutely phenomenal release. It's just a nasty slab of doom. Nothing groundbreaking or nothing new to speak of really, but it stood out as just something a bit great in the realm of doom or funeral doom metal, as I tend to like cherry pick with funeral doom, because a lot of it can be a little bit tedious, but this one really held my attention, and there's only like 3 or 4 songs on there anyway. So that's 14. 15, King Cheese. Recommend a power metal album to Marty Worm that you think is exceptional. He's always on the hunt. So I don't know the guy obviously, but this video is the questions are done by the team at the Heavy Metallurgy. So I think that Marty would like this band. They're relatively new. They're from Spain, formed in 2023, and debut was 2024. But they were called something else before they were called what they're called now, and that debut was in 2020, and they were called originally Cramp. Yeah, pretty naff name, but I guess it's kind of like shortened version of Krampus or something. So apparently they didn't really get anywhere with that. Took me a while to track down this album. It's a Japanese issue, and it's just limited to 300. And then they changed their name to Bronze. I don't know whether that's much better as a name, but yeah, I literally just got this one as well. Came with a nice sticker. So yeah, look for that one, Marty, if you don't already know that. Or Cramp or Bronze. They're both great. So yeah. Number we're on now, 16. 2 Minutes to Midnight. What is the last album you bought in 2025? Oh, well, that was really easy because it was only around the corner. So I was waiting basically for several weeks. I'd ordered it back at the tail end of November last year. And it's a Norwegian band formed in 1990. but they weren't that prolific. They were at one stage called something else, which preceded this band, and then they split a couple of times and reactivated, and that band is Green Carnation. This was actually my album of the year. I didn't, like I said earlier, I didn't buy a hell of a lot, but there was just something about this when I was streaming it. I streamed it for several weeks before buying it, and it was really difficult to get hold of. And in actual fact, I'm really disappointed that this is the version that they sent me, because the one that I actually purchased online was one that contains a slipcase to contain 2 other albums that they're going to release. This is part 1 of a trilogy. So yeah, a bit disappointed by that. Not by the music, not by the album, not by the band, not in the slightest. It's fantastic stuff. But yeah, just disappointed in general that I ordered something that was not what I got. So I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, if you like Swallow the Sun or that type of like dismal gloominess, yeah, really good. Green Carnation. That was 16. Number 17, Brain Drain. When feeling musical burnout, what is a nostalgic album that always makes you excited about music again? I can reach for this album just time and time again, over and over. I never get bored of it. I don't know what it is quite about the album that makes it so great to me, in my mind, but I guess they were between genres at the time. They didn't really fit into one thing or another. They weren't like the flavour of the month or anything like that, so they were kind of a bit off trend when they first came out, but then by the second album I think they completely nailed it. And that band is Sanctuary, and the great Warrell Dane singing for Sanctuary, sadly passed now obviously, but yeah, this album is just superb. What's this? This is the 30th anniversary. It was originally out in 1990. Got the original somewhere back there, but and I've had this on every format through the years: vinyl, cassette, and the 2 CDs that I've got. So just fantastic. Totally unique. I think Sanctuary, and I guess at the time when they kind of like morphed somewhat into Nevermore, just very unique heavy metal bands. Yeah, so 17. Number 18, Where's Waldo? Show a classic or older album that you somehow overlooked for many years that you loved as soon as you heard it. Well, this band is a Finnish band that I didn't hear until 1996, when they released their album Down, which was a great gothic death doom, just typical Finnish death doom, really. Really fell in love with that album Down, and I bought everything after Down, so from 1996 onwards, and went backwards to recoup the earlier albums as well. But I never ever until last year, when I got this album, had heard the demos. So the band in question is Sentenced, and this is great. It's got their free demos from 1990, 1991 and 1992, When Death Joins Us, Rotten Ways to Misery, and Journey to Paholia. So yeah, finally own the earliest stuff by Sentenced. I say I got everything else, so this was just the last piece of the puzzle. Number 19, Hello, my name is Was there a video or stream that you participated in during 2025 that you are especially proud of? Include a link in the description. Well, the answer to that, short and sweet, is no. I've never participated in any videos or live streams, and I did very few of my own videos last year either. As some of you might remember, yeah, I was very quiet last year. So no is the answer to that. And number 20, Into Glory Ride. Name a band that you want to see release one more great album before they retire. So the obvious ones, obviously, because they're all in their sort of late 60s or early 70s now in age. Iron Maiden, one last great album from them would be awesome. Judas Priest, same. And Scorpions, all bands I've seen through the years in various stages of their greatness. Obviously they've got like such vast back catalogues, all different, you know, types of good, bad, whatever. But yeah, just anything that they release as a last gasp, I'll be buying, in the hope that it just matches the greatness of their youth. So yeah, so there's my metal tag of 2026. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll put various links in the description, and see you all in the next video.